to episode 13 of the Backstage Knits podcast. I am Catherine and I am your host of this podcast, which is all about knitting, yarny goodness, theater, chatter, my life. I'm from Hartford, Connecticut, and so you'll hear some chatter about Connecticut-y things. Today is Thursday, June 23rd, 2016, and I just got out of work, so probably record this sometime late tonight, so most likely will still be Thursday when you watch this, or probably it will be Friday. Anyway, so where can you find me? I'm on Ravelry as Backstage Cat Knits. There's also a Ravelry group for this podcast, which I'd love to kind of get started up again. You can get to that group by searching Backstage Knits podcast on Ravelry. I am also on Instagram as Backstage Cath. I like Instagram. I think it's my favorite social media platform. So let's see, if you are a returning viewer, thanks so much for checking me out again, and if you're new, a big welcome to you. I've gotten a good amount of new views and new subscribers, so hello and thank you to all those people who have decided to subscribe to me in the past week or so. That's awesome. I hope you stick around and enjoy it. I want to actually give a shout out to two people who have talked about me recently. The first one is Carola, who is AmberFox84 on Ravelry and Instagram, and she also has a podcast called What Makes My Soul Happy, which I love the name of your podcast. I love that, like, that is totally what knitting does, is it makes my soul happy, and I just love that that's what you named your podcast. And Carola talks about things like nail polish and yarn purchases and crocheting and all that makes her soul happy. And coffee, right? Iced coffee, I think. And so anyway, she mentioned me yesterday and she was really, really sweet. I love when people take my like insane rambling and inability to speak without moving my hands and without like actually forming a coherent thought and call it charisma. She said I was charismatic. So thank you, and check out her podcast, the What Makes My Soul Happy podcast. And also a big thank you to Pam, who is PJ Matilda on Ravelry, Instagram, and Snapchat, I believe. I think there's different amounts of spaces in those words, but she does have a YouTube channel as well. I think you just get PJ Matilda Vlogcast, I think is what she calls her, vlog, is what she like calls her video posts. So she posted about me on Instagram and actually took a picture of, you know, my face and said like, I'm watching this podcast, and said that she was really enjoying it. So hello to Pam and to Carola and to anyone who got to me through them. I really appreciate you. You're such sweet people. Check out their podcasts if you haven't. A few more administrative things. First of all, sorry for this weirdness happening behind me. So this is my couch, which I just bought, used, earlier this week. This is my futon. The futon is still here. It has no mattress on it. The mattress is in the other bedroom. It's this whole big long thing, but anyway, apologies for that. You also might notice a slightly different angle, and possibly, if you're paying attention, which you totally don't have to be, slightly better quality. I realized that I have a nice Canon DSLR camera, which I bought 2 years ago when I went to Italy with my family, and then a month later went to India for work. And so I wanted to buy a nice camera to kind of take really good pictures of both those experiences. So anyway, finally figured out, not that I was really looking, but just I figured out how to like live view remote shoot into my computer. So anyway, recording on my Canon, but I can actually see myself. Because I think the main reason I didn't want to do it before was I knew that one could record video on a Canon, but I was like, the whole podcast is going to be like my chin and you won't be able to see anything, but they have the live utility program that comes straight with the camera, which is awesome. So anyway, I can see what you see, and anyway, yeah, I think we actually have decent color quality today because of this camera. Yay. Anywho, I think this might be one of the last, if not the last times you'll see me in this specific location. Like I said at the end of last week, I'll be getting a roommate soon. She's still not exactly sure what exact day she's moving in. She lives with her parents now, so it's a little bit more flexible, but where's her with? oh, I don't want to be recording in the living room while she's like trying to eat breakfast. Just like see her walk to the back of the podcast. Yeah, so I will probably record in my room from now on, which now that I have this Canon and can manage light better, it should not be awful like it was when I tried to film episode 8 there, because it was pretty awful. Anyway, I think that's it. 5 minutes of rambling about podcasty stuff. Let's get to the knitting, shall we? Yay, knitting. Alright, I do have a finished object this week. Ready? You ready for this? Because I totally am. Waffle socks! Oh my goodness. Okay, so these are my blueberry waffle socks by Sandy Turner, which on Ravelry I called my watermelon waffle socks because, if you could not tell, they're watermelon. So, I knit them out of yarn by June Price Fiber Arts. Whoopsies. Nope, wrong way again, Catherine. Nope, see, you were thinking my face is there. My face is not there. Oh, sorry, we're gonna... Can I? Sorry, give me a second. Learning curve, we'll figure this out soon. Alright, well... Anyway, trust me, June Price Fiber Arts, maybe you can sort of see it here. This is their double strand sock blank, which was 400 yards of 60% superwash merino, 30% bamboo, and 10% nylon. So, this was obviously the watermelon colorway. Yeah, it's really pretty. Oh yeah, look at that. We're actually getting good color. See, I don't want... There we go. So yeah, it's really pretty. I was talking about these last week, and I was... Oh shoot, I forgot to put my stitch marker back in. So I took it out to block the socks. I want to say I was about here, up the heel, and I was talking like, what do I do now? Because there was a ton left of my yarn. So I did cut the yarn, and I'm going to stick in right now. I took some pictures of my yarn cutting process, which is nothing exciting, but I just thought it would be fun to do. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the yarn cutting process. Okay, so this is where I started with. You see I'd gotten about halfway up the heel and still had a ton left. So what I did was I kind of divided for the yarn, made sure it was even, and I pulled it together out of the ball, holding it pretty tightly together. This is the first drawing that I did. You see I took out a bunch of the large section with some of the medium pink. That was what it looked like after I did my first join, and here's a close-up of the first section that I did. Then I did a little bit of the next lightest pink section, a little bit of the very light kind of pink into light yellows into whites, just a little bit of the green, and just a tiny bit of the dark green. Obviously, I kind of, knit up to the point on all of these. So by the end, I got a pretty good chunk out of the yarn. As you can see, kind of the progression of the colors. I got about 30 grams of extra yarn. And then I took a picture of what the finished object looks like. And as you can see, it's a pretty good join all the way around. Certainly not as slow a gradient as the foot and up into the heels of the socks. But, that's what watermelons look like. So I think it turned out very well. Okay, so, yeah. I'm really happy with how it came out. It's not the cuff is not as like radiant-y as it was designed to be. I may have said this also in my thing. I'm just realizing I recorded that like 3 days ago. But yeah, it came out really, really nice. Really, really nice. It's my first time working with bamboo, and it was pretty good. So I knit this on Hiya Sharps 2.5 millimeter needles. I did find this yarn a little bit splitting as I was knitting with it, but and it's stretched a lot. I think these are actually, I haven't even tried them on actually. I think these are a little bit too big, which is sad, but I can just wear them as slipper socks, so that would be good. And I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel. Oh no. Fish Lips Kiss heel. And yeah. So, anyway, wow, we're just, sorry, difficult autofocus today. We'll figure this whole nonsense out. Very happy with my socks. I think that's it. So, finished object. I was realizing that these are the first pair of socks I've knit for myself since almost a year ago. I think the last socks I knit for myself was like last August when I did my second pair of Rose City rollers. And then since then I've only knit 4 pairs of socks, and they went to, 2 of them went to friends for Christmas. One of them I started knitting for me, knit too small, and so gave them to a friend for a graduation. One of them I started knitting for me, and my sister was like, I love those, so she commandeered them and I gave them to her, because I love my sister. So, they're my socks, I'm not giving them up. They're mine, you can't take them away from me. Okay, anyway. That is all I have for finished objects today. Oh, I just took a sip of my tea and it's so good, so I have to talk about it. I was gonna wait, but oh, guys, this is, let's see, play with it here. This is from David's Tea. It is, I almost just said the Palm Diggity colorway, but no, it's not a colorway. It's the Palm Diggity flavor tea blend. It's a black tea. It's so good. It just got black tea, hibiscus, pomegranate, some rooibos in it. It's so sweet, and I'm just realizing it's because it has stevia extract in it. Oops, but it's really good. Really, really good. Highly recommend. These would be really good iced too. If it's the summertime where you are and you don't want hot tea. I can drink hot tea all day long anytime, but I know some people just like iced tea. So good iced. This would be amazing. I mean, it's very fruity. It doesn't taste like black tea at all. So if you want black tea, don't drink this because it just tastes like delicious sweet pomegranates. But it's so good. Okay, sorry. I forgot how good it was and I took a sip and I was like, wow, I need to talk about this right now. Anywho, all right. Whips. I've been pretty monogamous with that word that I can't say one at a time. With my knitting this week. I'm working on these socks a lot. Obviously the cutting and pasting of the yarn took some extra time. And then I've been trying to finish my test knit. So you'll remember from last time that I'm working on my test knit from Sarah of the Knitty Nerdy and Natural podcast. And I'm knitting it out of 2 yarns. The shawl is called the Impasto shawl. She had originally asked to have it by the end of the month. I think it's still possible that I make that deadline. We'll see. So I would imagine it would be on Ravelry fairly soon, because I think her other test knitters would probably get it done by the end of the month. I only got it June 15th, so, like, anyway. But, anyway, knitting it out of Fat Cat Knits Super Sock, which is 100% superwash merino in the Boogaloo colorway. I'm not going to try to focus on this, but this is what her tag looks like. This is that colorway. And then also on a local yarn brand that's dyed at a store in Wallingford, Connecticut. Which I've never been to the store. I don't actually know how far Wallingford is from me, but it's not close. This is a super cheap fingering Snowflake Agate colorway, which is also 100% superwash merino. It's 450 yards to this game. So that's what that tag looks like. Again, I'm not going to try to do the zoom and focus thing because we'll be here all day long. But that's this. So actually, Pam BG Matilda commented on my last video. She said, like, when you held these up, I was like, those won't look good together. But I bought them together, so I kind of thought they would. But I'm really happy with how this project is working out. I just moved it on to bigger needles last night. So, what's happening here? Okay, so, this is the, okay, anyway, so this is half the shawl. And it's just a striped shawl, varying colored stripes. And so, I actually got a ton of work done on this week. You see my little stitch marker? And this is from, I'm pretty sure I got this Progress Keeper, rather, when I bought an order from Tia's Terrific Threads on Etsy. I'm pretty sure my little Progress Keeper. It's like a little apple. I can't find it now in the shop, but there it is. You can sort of see it. So yeah, I basically doubled the depth of the shawl this week. And it's just 1 week since I last podcasted. I mean, it's exactly like 7 times 24 hours pretty much. So I went to Boston this weekend and had a lot of time to knit. So I got a lot done. And I made no progress in my other shawl, the Danzig shawl. So this has been it this week. I really like this pattern because it's patterned. You can see I've got stitch markers denoting the repeat. So it's not a lace repeat, but it's a stitch repeat. But it's very easy to memorize, so I can kind of take this with me. You know, it's not quite like boring stockinette sock where it's totally mindless, but I can, you know, hold conversations while this is happening, which is good because, yeah. So I hope to have this as a finished object next time I podcast. We'll see how that goes, though. So, Sarah, I'm really enjoying this test knit. Your instructions were very clear, and I highly recommend that you download or buy, I'm not sure what she's planning to do, the pattern once it comes out on Ravelry. So, there is that. And then I finished my socks and went, well, I can't not have socks in the needles, even though I have like 3 other things that I should be working on that aren't socks. But I'm knitting the Impasto for the Summer Colors Cal, hosted by the Stitch Between Pages and the Cherry Pearls podcast. So Robin, and Mary, and I just figured I would do another color project. So I cast on a pair of socks with contrasting toe, heel, and cuff. So this is actually my contrasting color. This is Yarns to Inspire Wonder, which I have lost the tie band for, but so Yarns to Inspire is the company. It's their Wonder base. I want to say I actually don't know the fiber content, but I actually dyed this yarn myself. I won a class on yarn dyeing. Sorry, this is a very messy cake, but so I dyed this myself. And I'm calling it's one of a kind colorway that I'm calling Dollar Princess because there's an orchid that has these colors. It's called the Dollar Princess orchid. So there's that. And then I'm pairing it with Plymouth Yarns, their Happy Feet 100 Splash, which is 90% superwash merino, 10% nylon. That's not gonna focus. Nope. Anyway. There we go. Maybe? Okay, whatever. Take my word for it, that's what it is. And I am using the blueberry colorway. So, this is just a very speckly yarn. And I am not using a pattern, I'm just kind of making up a pattern. So, this is what I got so far. I started this like on Tuesday, so I really haven't spent a lot of time on it, but I have a toe. I'm going with the 2 at a time toe up again like I did for the my watermelon socks because I liked it and I liked being done and having a pair of socks at the end of the whole endeavor. So I'm knitting these, again, my same needles I knit my watermelon socks with, Hiya Sharps, 2.5mm needles. And so what I'm doing for this pattern is I'm just kind of doing this like, let's see, can I get it to focus? Yeah, there we go. This like slip stitch pattern, and you hardly can't even see it almost, but it's just kind of like an alternating slip stitch. So the first row's doing it, you know, every 2 repeats, and then it alternates, and then it alternates the other 2, and then I haven't started the next row yet, but it's gonna do all 4 again. So I'm actually considering striping these once I get to the end of the first repeat, and maybe doing, you know, alternating the repeats with this color, just because I'm really liking how they look together. The blueberry obviously has a lot of blue, but there's some pops of green, but there are some good pops that, you know, pretty much match exactly the colors in my hand-dyed Dollar Princess yarn. So I really like how they look, so I might just stripe them. And it's so cool to see how I'm knitting from one ball of yarn, just the 2 ends of my center pole ball, so it's so cool to see kind of how differently they're knitting up. Like the one that's being pulled from my center is much lighter than the one that's being pulled from the outside. So I'll be alternating between these and 1 more pair of socks. So I'm calling these the Slippery Berry socks, just because they're slip stitches, and the yarn is called Blueberry. Hey, creative. Yeah. Okay. So I have one more WIP, but I'm gonna start the acquisition section because it kind of goes into that. So this was my birthday month. I had a lot of acquisitions. Yeah. Okay, so my aunt, who may actually be watching because I told her about my podcast. If you are, hi my aunt, you will know who you are. She went to Utah recently, and she is also sort of a knitter, trying to be a knitter. Has been a knitter in the past and would like to be a knitter again, I think is the current state of affairs. And so she found a yarn store in Utah and bought me a skein of yarn for my birthday. Oh, thank you. This is MJ Yarns, which funnily enough I got in my last Yarn Box Socks subscription. This is a slightly different base. This is the Simple Sock Fingering Weight, 75% superwash Corriedale, 25% nylon. There's about 390 yards in the 7 grand skein, and this is the Mystic Lagoon colorway, which is just this beautiful, mostly teal, with some pops of like baby blue in here. And yes, my color is pretty true to life, slightly darker perhaps, but actually very, very close. So, oh, it is beautiful, and it is so soft. I don't think I've ever gotten Corriedale yarn before. I feel like one of my languishing spinning projects is with Corriedale, but oh yeah, it's so pretty. It's so soft. So let me just see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. Let's see, here we go. Come on. Nope. Okay, oh, there we go. MJ Yarns, hand dyed in Lafayette, Colorado. So they got this, she must sell them kind of locally in Utah. So there's my Mystic Lagoon colorway. Not quite focused, but close enough. You can sort of see that. So it is so pretty and so soft. I mean, it would make a great pair of socks, but I'm actually considering making this. I have friends who are expecting a baby boy in August, and one of my goals for the year, which may or may not be met, like it was legit one of my New Year's resolutions, was to make a sweater. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where I put this. Limited space. And so my friend who's a crocheter suggested that I should make like a baby sweater first, just to get the idea of shaping and stuff. So I might make, this is from my Sock Yarn One Skein Wonders book that my sister got me for Christmas. I might make this adorable baby boy vest and bow tie out of this yarn. It's designed by, I can't read that name in cursive quite like that, Patty Gersey? And there's a little bow tie that comes with it. Oh, look. And it's not clear if you sew the bow tie on or just, oh, so safety pin to back. Okay, so you put it on a safety pin. But it's adorable, and even though this isn't a full sweater, it will kind of help with shaping and things, I think, and getting used to that, because it does not appear that you seam it? No, sew together. So, okay, it is seaming, but whatever. There's also a, where did it go? The other one that I thought I might make with that. That's too curly. This one, the Heritage Baby Sweater by Liz Niels. So, that's the other option, but knowing the family, I think they'll like the little baby vest better, so that's probably what I have in mind for that yarn. So, thank you to the aunt who got me this gift. I don't know if you want to say, like, I don't want to say your name without your consent, so thank Thank you, I love it. And it might go to a really good home. Next. So, we're gonna do this next. This came today. I got some stuff from a store, Etsy shop that I had been following on Instagram for quite a while. And finally just was browsing around and saw a colorway that I loved and then something else that I really liked and bit the bullet and bought something with them. So it's Up in Yarn Designs. The dyer is Lorelei Ford. Come on. Zoom please. Focus, 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 focus. You can do it. There we go. There we go. All right, beautiful. Lorelei Ford, Up in Yarn Designs, and like I said, I followed her on Etsy for a very long time, and package came with tea, which I always love. Orange spice black tea, and so I just happened to be online and I saw this yarn, and I just had to have it. This is my birthday gift to myself. I mean, I have a lot of birthday gifts to myself, but so this is a one-of-a-kind colorway. And this is her 2-ply sock base, 400 yards to the skein. It's an 80-20% superwash BFL. So 80% superwash BFL, 20% nylon. Like I said, one of a kind colorway. That. Oh, you guys. Oh, you guys. Oh, it just gets better. Oh, look at that. So it's like a very kind of dark purpley gray out into some kind of indigos, out into some magentas, and then the other side is speckles. Oh, you guys, I love it so much. It's so pretty. So this will most likely be socks for myself. Really like this. Thank you, Lorelei. It is absolutely gorgeous. I'm in love with it. I saw it and I had to have it. I probably don't need to do this whole like chin thing, but whatever, it works for me, right? Okay, so there's that. And then I've been watching and following Andy Andresunitz on Instagram, and if you don't follow her, you should. She has started getting into hand stamping sock blanks, and I've not been able to nab any of her blanks. Sorry. Like my mind, blanks. But anyway, it got me into sock blanks. So I do have one sock blank. So this is the same base. No, this is a slightly different base. I'm sorry. This is a 4-ply sock, single knit blank. It is 463 yards, and it's a 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon base. And again, this is Up in Yarns. And the colorway is called Radioactive. Nope, wait, there we go. Sort of, kind of, a little bit. There we go. Radioactive. And this is what it looks like. So I am unrolling this for the first time. Here we go. So kind of starts with the reds and then goes into the yellow and then all the way down. Oh yeah. So kind of like it's like a neon yellow into red with a heavy dose of speckle throughout. It's really nice. This will obviously make, oh boy, 2 very different socks, but it's a single knit blank, meaning that you can only knit one at a time out of it, although I guess you could try to roll it into, but either way it's going to make 2 very different socks, so there's that. Okay, I'd like to apologize for the skip and probably the change in lighting. My camera decided it was going to die and run out of battery, so I had to take like an hour to charge it. But I think we're good. Like I said, light does good things. Okay, so that's my first sock blank. And then I actually got another sock blank. I'll show you that now. So I also actually got this and immediately cast on. This is from Supernatural Yarns, and it is the Pixie Sock Blank, double knit. which is 75% superwash merino. It says 15% nylon, but I'm going to assume it's 25% nylon because I don't know where the other 10% would have gone otherwise. 463 yards, and this is in the Elixir to Induce Euphoria colorway. I crossed out how much money it cost, but oh well. Supernatural yarns, and oh, this is what this looks like. It's a rainbow. So I've been very much into buying rainbows. So this is rainbow number 1 of, I guess, 1 of 2 that you'll see today. I guess there's only 2 rainbows that I bought. Yeah, so this is a nice rainbow sock blank. Yeah, so I guess when I dive into things like sock blank knitting, I dive full in. And this is a double knit sock blank, which I thought meant like you could pull from both ends. But what it actually is, and you probably know this, but I had no idea, was that like it knit with two strands together. It's kind of hard to see, but like if you compare these two, this one's much thicker because it's 2 strands knit together. So as you knit the yarn, you pull out 2 strands at a time, and so it's perfect for 2 at a time toe-up socks. So I'm just going to make these vanilla socks, and I've just started the heel. So there's that. This is, like I said, from Supernatural Yarns. And then I was on Supernatural Yarns site. Sorry, I was like trying to figure out, like, did I talk about this yarn already? Let's put it back in here. I was on Supernatural Yarns site, and I really liked this other colorway, so I bought it. Happy birthday to me. Let me see if I can hold this up and get it to focus while I talk about what's on the back. So, there we go. This is the Nymph sock, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, a 2-ply, 400 yards, and 100 grams. And this is the Winter Wonderland colorway. Let's see if I can keep that in pretty quick. There we go. Beautiful. So this is really nice. It's teal, blue, and purple. It will probably be socks, although I could see this being in a shawl. I've got some, like, nice, just beige that I haven't used for any projects that I keep sitting around, so this could pair nicely with a beige. We'll see. I now have a lot of yarn, it's a problem. And then, guys, Felici's back, in case you hadn't heard. Go buy some. So they have a ton of new colorways, which is, not a ton, but several new colorways, which is awesome. So I bought 2 skeins of a new colorway, which is Eclipse. And if you don't know, Felici is a super soft, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. Comes in, I'm not going to try to show you this ball band because you probably have some at home. But this is the new Eclipse colorway. And it's really nice. It's like, I think every stripe alternates with black, which is really cool. I'm really excited to knit with it. So there's a kind of like a darker burgundy maroon, and then kind of more of a fuchsia-y maroon. And then there's like almost an indigo more than a blue. There's a little like goldenrod, I guess I would call it, and then a little bit of red in there. Kind of like a muted red. So excited to knit with that. It will be socks because it's self-striping. It's so soft though, you guys. So I bought 2 skeins of that. And then rainbows, LGBTQ Solidarity Craft Along. Had to just buy all the rainbows. I bought 4 skeins. Yeah, I'm going to. They're 50-yard skeins, so it's not that crazy. Of Felici Rainbow, which goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. And so I'm probably going to use this to make a matching pair of socks for my friend and her girlfriend. And if I do alternating, or not alternating, contrast heels and toes and cuffs, which I really want to do, which I should have gotten. I got this yarn in a Yarn Box Socks, which is sparkly, and it's like a very pale blue, so it's like the sky. So I'm going to make rainbow sky socks, and I think I'll make them for my friend, her girlfriend, and probably a pair for me too. So yeah, that will be their just gift because I like them, and they're pretty much the only people I haven't made socks for at this point. So, or at least they're next on my list. I mean, they're people I haven't made socks for. But anyway, Knit the Rainbow. Hey Lady Hey started the LGBTQ solidarity craft along, and it's awesome. And once I finish my shawl, I will knit this gradient one, and then go into the ones for my friend. Because I want a pair of socks for me. I was like, I love making socks for me. Like, I love my friends, but it's been like so long. I'm like, socks. Let's make all the socks. So, I think that's it. I have no idea how long this is because my camera like keeps chopping them into pieces. So I think this is fairly short. I don't know that I love this new camera setup. I like the quality, the very, very long time to focus, and the splitting up into separate things is kind of messing with me a little bit. So, we'll see. But I'll probably end up using this just because the lighting is so much better once I have to go back in there and record. No, I mean, I want to have a roommate, so I can deal with having to record in my bedroom, I promise. No life updates, just roommate. Currently, theater-wise, I'm obsessed with Hamilton. Yeah. It was weird. It was a slow burn for me. Like, I listened to it on my way to Boston in like November, and I didn't immediately love it. Like with his first show, In the Heights, I was sold 2 minutes into the first song where he says it's too darn hot like my man Cole Porter says. Partially because I did Kiss Me Kate like earlier that year, like right before In the Heights came out. But I love In the Heights because it's got that rap, hip hop, bolero kind of influence, but it still feels like musical theater. And Hamilton doesn't quite, at least in my first listen, now it does, after listening to it again. It didn't quite feel musical theater-y enough for me. Like, I want to listen to musical theater because it's musical theater, you know? Like, so, but now I'm obsessed. I got over that real fast. I think I just needed to listen to it, like, multiple times to really, like, take it all in. I'm obsessed. I think I've listened to it 3 or 4 times in the past day and a half. It's on all day at work. So, that's the theater thing for me. I have no shows coming up or anything. So, yeah, I'm taking the summer off from tests. If you're one of the people who's been following the saga of my test-taking skills, I did not pass enough tests to go to Hawaii. Sad face, but it's okay. I mean, really the important thing is that you finish it, and I was trying to be a crazy person, and it would have been insane, so it works out. Well, I think I've rambled on long enough. It feels like longer because it's an hour and a half after I started doing this, but I know it's not an hour and a half. Maybe, I don't know, something. So, anyway, I hope you enjoy. Yeah, wow. Enjoy your knitting, enjoy your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!